In this video, we're going to talk about how to stay motivated with your workout routine. Now, if you're watching this, my name is JC. I'm a cancer exercise specialist and clinical exercise physiologist. I help cancer survivors exercise after cancer, during and after treatment. So let's talk about how to stay motivated. Now, if you're watching this, it's because you're giving me permission to give you some tough love. So I'm going to start off with some tough love, and then it's going to get a little bit softer and easier after that. I'll give you some practical tips. But the tough love part is, if you're relying on motivation to exercise, you're relying on the wrong thing. Motivation is very overrated. You're not going to be motivated every day to exercise. I like exercise. I encourage people to exercise. And I still get at least 3 to 4 days out of the week, depending on the week, where I don't feel like working out. So if I relied on motivation, more often than not, I would not be exercising. And the same thing goes for you. You're gonna have less days of wanting to work out than actually wanting to work out. So don't rely on motivation. Now, that being said, motivation is great to get you started. It doesn't help you stay consistent. So that's where it becomes a little bit overrated. It's just relying on motivation to keep you consistent. Motivation is phenomenal to just get you going, right? Fear is also great to get you going and get you started, right? But that doesn't mean it's gonna keep you consistent. So you wanna focus on being consistent, not always motivated. Your motivation comes afterward. So what happens is most people think, I get motivation, I start working out, and my motivation continues. But what really happens is I'm motivated, I start working out, my motivation goes away, and I stop working out, right? That is the flow and the cycle of why you keep trying and maybe failing. I don't like using that word because you're not failing, but you don't stay consistent. That's what I'm gonna say instead, right? So it's important to realize that your motivation is a good starting point, but what's gonna keep you consistent is the results you get and the tips, the practical tips that you learn along the way and you apply them. So I'll give you a couple practical tips now. I have to look down because I got in my notes there. Okay. So in terms of practical tips that are gonna help you stay motivated, there's short-term tips and then long-term focus. You have to do both of those. So let's start with short-term first. So there's a couple things that you can do in your day-to-day to help you stay more consistent. Not motivated, because you're not going to want to exercise every single day, but that consistency is going to lead to motivation later on. So the first thing you want to do to stay consistent is have a plan that makes exercise easier for you. What I mean by that is you want to keep a visual of things that remind you to exercise. So a couple things that I've done with my online coaching clients is they have like a little sticky note or a picture on their fridge. Maybe it's the body that they used to have. Maybe it's a sticky note that says, hey, did you work out today, right? And they have a visual or a picture somewhere that they're always seeing to remind them to exercise. That's the first thing. The next thing is making exercise accessible to you. So for example, if you have, those small little pink dumbbells or blue dumbbells in your house and they're stored away in the attic, you never see them in the attic. So you're never gonna be thinking, oh, I need to use them today. You probably have no idea where they're at, right? So you wanna keep those somewhere that's visible. Maybe beside the TV, maybe beside your bed, somewhere that you can see it. And hopefully it has some bright colors that you can pick them out from across the room, right? Same thing goes for your workout shoes, for example. You want to have your shoes somewhere visible that every time you walk by and you see those shoes out of the corner of the eye, those shoes are telling you, hey, have you run today? Have you walked today, right? It's a constant reminder throughout your day. You also want to make it very accessible to you. So not just visually, but also easy for you to get to the gym or get to your workout. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, remove as many barriers as you can. So an example would be, let's say you're trying to go on a walk after work, right? You don't want to go home, change, and then go on your workout. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go home, you're going to be like, I didn't do the dishes this morning, you're going to start cleaning, the kids need food, whatever it might be, and you're going to start doing everything else except your workout. Or you're gonna get home and be like, I'm tired, look at the couch, it looks so nice, and you're gonna lay down and watch TV. Instead, take your workout clothes to work, change at work, and go directly to the area that you're gonna do your exercise at. Maybe it's the park, the gym, or your garage. You're removing barriers that stop you from exercise. Now that's super important to do, because even somebody who loves exercise, you have to remove those barriers, because we naturally want to be lazy. We naturally want to do what's easiest for our bodies. And when you don't feel like working out, what's easiest for your body, 9 times out of 10 is going to win. So make it easy to get active. Maybe you have your workout shoes on the whole day, so that way you're just ready to just change and go straight on a walk. So things like that. Maybe you keep the workout bag right next to you in the car where you can see it, right? In the passenger seat, so that way as soon as you get into the car, you know to go to the gym and you got your workout stuff there. So that's extremely important. Now, besides just making it easier for you, visible for you, the next thing you want to do when you don't feel like exercising is you have 2 things. Number 1, your only goal is put the clothes on, right? That's the first thing. And what you're going to notice is once you put maybe your gym shirt on, maybe you put some walking shoes on, maybe you change into your gym shorts, you're gonna start to feel like exercising and working out a little bit. If you rely only on this, it's not gonna be good enough. That's why I said the second thing is very important. So, but getting on the clothes and just going through the motions of, hey, I'm gonna start getting my body prepped and ready for exercise is extremely helpful. You're gonna start to get maybe a little bit of a dopamine effect and start getting a little bit excited for it. The idea of exercise in your brain starts to naturally increase your heart rate and prepare your body for exercise. That's what we're trying to trigger. Now, the next thing is you're gonna practice a 10-minute rule. If you have been feeling sick, or you have fatigue, or you're tired, the 10-minute rule is key to help you stay active. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna commit for 10 minutes. It's gonna be a 10-minute warm-up. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's doing some mobility, some stretching exercise, whatever it is, just 10 minutes of getting your body moving. After those 10 minutes, if you feel better or you feel like you can continue, go ahead and continue your workout. Now, if you don't feel good, you feel nauseous, fatigue is really kicking your butt, go ahead and rest and try again later. But practicing the 10-minute rule, getting those 10 minutes of just getting your body literally warmed up and moving is going to be great for keeping you active. Because what happens is you don't feel like working out. As soon as you get started, now you're like, I can continue my workout. And that's what we want. We want to remove barriers, right? Stopping you from exercising. But we also want to just get your body moving into the right direction, into the right lane. Because what happens with our brain is, think about like being in a highway. Once you get into that highway, you're kind of stuck on that highway until your next exit. So once you are, putting on some clothes on, you're making it easier for you to exercise, you're walking already, you're already on that I'm gonna work out highway, and you're more likely to finish that workout.